How's it going, guys? Today, we're going to show you our full Notion setup for our digital marketing agency. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, y'all. Welcome to Notion. So this is my project database solution that I use. So if you guys don't know what Notion is, it's essentially kind of like Monday.com or a lot of these other tools, which is made for project management. So I've seen a lot of kids use this in college. A lot of kids use this for personal development, a lot of things, but we actually found a lot of success using this for our digital marketing agency. And I know a lot of other people use it as well, but I just wanted to kind of share my process and how I kind of built this and what I did step by step. So you guys can go and do the same thing for your digital marketing agency. Now, I will say this, Notion did take a long ass time to learn, and it was kind of a pain in the ass. However, I stuck with it. I kept learning the process, and after a while I figured out, okay, this works, this doesn't work, I'm gonna use this, I'm not gonna use that, okay? That'll make more sense as it goes on, but this is a more difficult kind of software to use, to be honest. It's not as user-friendly as something like Monday.com, something like Asana. It takes a little bit more time to understand, but once you understand it, it's really great. So I can do more things in these other tools, but the barrier to entry is a little higher, you know what I mean? So let's get started. So a couple things that I built out here is team dashboards, human resources, KPIs, brand assets, those things. And that stays at the top. So I will jump into that in a second, but first I want to give a shout out. There's a guy that makes Notion training videos. His name's Daniel. I think his last name starts with a C. I bought his template and then just enhanced it. So one thing that you guys is super important to know, you can't just take a template inside of Notion or inside anything, whether it's SOPs, Notion, so on and so forth, and think that it's just going to work for your business right away. That just doesn't happen. So you have to take these templates and then rework everything so it makes sense for you. So a lot of the things in this template I don't use at all. I really just use them as a stepping stone. So I figured out, okay, he was using this for this. This is what's in the template. And then I was like, what do I really need? Okay, I need this. If it's not in here, I'm going to build it in here and just take the frameworks. So this like dashboard frameworks is from this guy. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into it. So team dashboard is essentially all the KPIs of your team members. So if you like jump in here, I'll blur this out, but it's by gallery. So you can see all your team members. And then if you jump into an individual team member, you'd be able to see kind of everything that, you know, they would have. So you could see like their salary, you could see when they joined, you could see their birthday, all those kind of things, right? So this is like a onboarding process where you onboard your teammates and you could see like your HR, like your human resource. The other thing that we have is KPIs, and this is where we handle all our scorecards and everything like that. So basically I have every person on the team and I have their scorecards in here, meaning this is how we judge them on a monthly basis. This is how they get scored every single month. So I'll just pull up an appointment setters scorecard so you guys can see it. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, whatever, go for it. This is something that I've taught the students how to do in our coaching program, but essentially a scorecard is a way to keep somebody accountable on your team and make them hit goals month in and month out by having performance reviews at the end of the month. So you basically have the goals of the position. You have the mission of the position, which is basically just like a summary. And then you have your scoring rubric. So every single month you sit down with this person on your team and you actually go ahead and score them and then write some comments and then give them the score out of 15 points. And then you put it in their HR file and then you also send it to them so they know that they can improve in the following months and so on and so forth. And obviously, if they have a really bad month and they have a really bad score, then you need to have another separate conversation with them, maybe even a write-up, and make sure that that doesn't happen again, right? Because end of the day, this is how you hire people successfully and also how you keep them accountable and working harder, as well as some other bonuses and stuff like that. But let's keep it to Notion, but just showing you guys. So those are the KPIs. Let's go back. We also have brand assets, which honestly I don't use. This was just in the template. As you can see, there's like nothing in here. But this is where you could like, you know, put your company fonts and all that stuff. I would say it's not the most important thing at the moment for us. Sales and sales assets, we don't use this because we do sales inside of Go High Level and we have a full pipeline with that. However, these sales assets are just like different onboarding links and things that the sales guys send out to the clients. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Okay, so the marketing section is pretty much everything in this SOP. I would say I spent the most time on this and this is what we use the most. Okay, so keep that in mind. So in marketing, we have our client dashboard. We have our master jump board media tasks, which is literally all the tasks that get assigned to everyone on the team. And then we have a couple different things for the media buyers. So they have like Facebook marketing, important launches, Google launches. We have all of our Google Sheets in one master sheet here, which is really important. Bunch of winning ad copies, winning UGC in stock, all active client assets, which are like Google Drive folders, stuff like that. So I'll show you the most important ones. That way this video doesn't go too long. And it's really the client dashboard and then the master task list. So let's jump into the dashboard so you can see. And I'm going to have my editor edit all these names out so you guys can't see them. But essentially, this is kind of like Monday.com. It has similar features. But what you can do here is every time you get a client, you just put an automation through Zapier to push all their information in here. So all their onboarding info. And so you have all your clients that are in limbo up here. So this could mean like they reached out to you, they wanted to sign up, but for some reason they're like waiting on something. Maybe they're on vacation or something. That's where in limbo would be. Just sign means they signed the contract, but they're launching in like a couple months. And then we have people that are currently onboarding. Then we have our active clients, and then we have paused and canceled below that. Okay, so that's this. Now, the coolest thing about Notion is that you can separate each one of these views, they're called, by another view, and then you can set filters on them. So for example, I can go to Lucy, who's one of our account managers, and I can see only the accounts that she's account managing. So this is super helpful for her. This is helpful for everyone else in the team, knowing that, hey, if I need to get this asset from the client, I talk to Lucy because she's account managing them, right? And so we have everyone on the team up here who's account managers, and you could see which person is in charge of that client. So it's really, really helpful. So that's the team dashboard, super helpful. You can keep track of your service fees and ad spend through here too, which we do. But to make this video quicker, let me just go through a couple more things. Then we have this one I had to build because, I had to build both these, but this one in particular took me a while to figure out because I don't like all the templates and how they kind of try to leverage automation, and then it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And then it doesn't seem like people are actually utilizing what was built out. So I actually took frameworks from the entire team and asked them, okay, how would this work the best for you? Like, what do you guys need in your organization within the tasks? Because at the end of the day, if the tasks aren't getting done, then if you're tracking the tasks and if you're doing everything and everyone on the team feels disorganized, it's a shame, right? So I actually sat down with all the team members and I was like, hey, how can we build this out to make it the most beneficial for you guys? Right? And so this is what we came up with. So I know this seems like a lot because we have a shitload of onboardings right now and a lot of clients where we're redoing creatives and different ads and stuff like that. But essentially here, we have all the tasks that are in progress, not started, or not finished yet. So we're gonna see here all the to-do tasks and with the dates as well, and then whoever is assigned to it. So this is a little chaotic, I know that, but it's like the first view. So when you assign a task, you just go down here, create a new task, and it'll pull up on the calendar, as long as you put the due date, right? And then put whoever's assigned to it. So that being said, all the tasks are here. Then you can go into the calendar and you can see all the tasks like this. So this is really helpful for our media buying team, for our backend team, for our creative team, to go ahead and get projects done as they see what's on deck, what's next, so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of launches and new things today. Today's the 24th of June, but yeah, that's basically how this works. And then, like I said, this is why I really like Notion, is because you're able to set these different views and different filters. So for example, this is Google and Facebook that are completed and in progress and so on and so forth. So you can see everything in this view. This one is only Facebook launches. This one's only Google launches. This one's by department. And so everything goes off of this one task list, and then you can make all your other views, which is so nice and so organized, and really helps you just, get things done, stay organized. So now on every single team meeting that we have, we're going over this for at least like 10, 15 minutes just to make sure everyone's on the same page with what needs to get done today, what the week's looking like, what is our monthly goals, what's our, quarterly goals and everything like that. Everyone's on the same page. So it's super, super helpful. And sorry if I'm sounding a little monotone, a little boring. I'm a little sick, you guys, but yeah, last thing I would say that's really, really important here is like all these other ones, these are just internal. You wouldn't really need these unless you're doing the same thing as me, but you can see them in there. It's really like the same shit. But let's go into SOPs and workflows. I feel like these are super helpful. So one thing is like part of our onboarding process we do a onboarding call and then a launch call within the client. So we have 2 separate calls before they actually go live. And the first call, basically the team will open up this checklist, which is an example of our checklist. And they would fill out all the client's details again, just to make sure we didn't miss anything during the onboarding, and then make sure that we have the right offer, the right ad budget, the right service fee, that the agreement's signed, that we have the launch date. And then this is how they create the task and update the team. They can just copy this entire section, and then they, thumbs up, they just copy this entire section, and then they actually put that in the task, right? So you could just like copy in Notion, you can copy this whole block. So you can copy the link to the block. And then when you're making a task, you can just associate that task with this block. And so the person doing the task knows to get all the information from this onboarding document that we put here. And yes, you could automate it. However, guys, what I found, if you try to automate the full onboarding process from the client, there's a lot of times where the client is going to rethink a decision, meaning like, oh, I actually wanted to run this ad, or I wanted to run this ad, or they just didn't get that personal touch from you when they should have, and like understood the game plan that you're doing for them in marketing. So I highly, highly recommend that you guys take the time to do an onboarding call and a launch call. But that's really it, you guys. If you have any questions or anything like that about this Notion template, and you guys want to know where I got it from and how you can make it your own, or if you like videos like this and you want a more hands-on tutorial style video, this is really just an overview. But if you want me to do some tutorials inside of Notion, please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. If you need anything, you know where to find me, and talk to you guys soon. Peace. Thanks for watching.